Hello and welcome to Chuck's Diecast Car and Model Reviews. Today we're going to be taking a look at this car. This is one of my favorite sports cars of the 90s. This is the Bugatti EB110. This particular model is made by Bburago and is in 1/18 scale. And back in the 90s, this was one of the fastest cars in the world and was really, really high tech. I mean, this had a list of things on here that really didn't show up in modern sports cars until probably 15 or so years later. I mean, this car had well, first of all, it had four-wheel drive, and then it just had a crazy engine. It had 3.5-liter V12 with 60 valves, so it was 5 valves per cylinder, and then it was also quadruple turbocharged. So I don't think we saw a quadruple turbocharged engine until Bugatti came out with the Veyron after this. So yeah, this car was kind of ahead of its time. If you don't know much about this Bugatti, Bugatti, the original company, of course, went out of business, I believe, in the late 40s or early 50s. And then a gentleman by the name of Romano Artioli bought up the name, and that's when he decided to build this car. The original designer of this car was a guy named Marcello Gandini, who, he designed the Lotus. He designed, the Countach. He designed the Lamborghini Miura. I believe he also even designed the Lamborghini Diablo as well. So he's definitely had a really impressive track record, but the owner of the company really didn't like the design that he came up with, so they had a big argument, and then it was redesigned by another gentleman. But still, I think this is a very handsome car in its own way, and it certainly is really cool when you see him in person. I personally, actually just a month ago, was at the Monterey weekend in Car Week, and I saw 3 of them that weekend. All of them were silver. One of them was on display at the Bugatti display there at Pebble Beach. There was another one up for auction, and I don't even know how much it sold for. And then there was a third one that I saw actually at the shop of a gentleman named Bruce Canepa. He has an amazing facility near Santa Cruz where he restores and maintains your super high-end cars and sports cars. So if you get a chance, go to his facility. But these cars were all really cool to see. I'd actually seen Bruce Canepa's car a few years back, and then I also saw another one at the Peterson Museum about 3 or 4 years ago when I visited that in Los Angeles, but it was silver also, so I don't even know if it was one of the ones that I'd seen this last month. But anyway, the interesting thing about those cars is none of them actually look like this particular car, even with the color. Reason being is that this particular model is of one of the original design. It's called the EB110 GT. And these are the first ones that rolled off the production line. I don't know how many were made, but then they were upgraded by lopping off. I think they took about 300 pounds of weight out of the car due to the use of more carbon fiber and all that sort of stuff in the structure of the vehicle, and also gave a little more horsepower. But the way you can tell the difference is that the original ones have this panel right here, but the later ones, the Super Sports, they had a body color panel here instead, and it has 5 holes in it for ventilation for the engine, presumably. So that's how you can tell the difference. And I think the 5-hole thing actually looks better. And in fact, there was actually just recently the new Bugatti, made a tribute version of this car, and I believe it was called the Dieci or something like that, which means 110 in Italian, and it's sort of a variation of the Chiron, and it also had 5 holes in here as well, just as a tribute to this particular car. Taking a look at this model here, though, you know, I got this 20 years ago, and over 20 years ago, and the detail on this is really, really nice. I mean, looking at the wheels, these wheels look very good. Let's see if you can see it even has BBS, script on there, so that looks really good. The paint is not, the greatest, but still not bad. Kind of sad that the old NACA scoop on the side here isn't open or a little sharper, but still that's all right. The front end aspect of the car, the headlights look good, and of course you can see here the not only the Bugatti badge there, is pretty sharp, but also the signature, what they call horse collar or grill there is represented well also. We'll go ahead and open up the old front end here so you can see what's under here. I'm sure none of it was actually chrome, but they made it chrome here, but looks pretty good there also. I think that's the battery right there, so again, not bad. Taking a look at the back here, though, you can see detail of the taillights is pretty decent. I like the fact that whoever put the license plate there put it on crooked, and I guess I'll have to do something about that someday. The only beef I might have with this back end is, of course, these slots here are supposed to be ventilation holes, and they're just indentations in the back end. Who knows, maybe I'll take a Sharpie or something and color that in just to make it look a little bit better. The other issue is that this rear wing is supposed to pop up, but this one doesn't, so that's a bit of a shame there too. But let's go ahead and take a look here at the engine compartment. There's that quad turbocharged V12 I was talking about. Detail is pretty decent for a model I probably got for 15 bucks, and they did a nice job of actually using blue plastic to make the Bugatti script there on the valve covers. They could have just put a sticker on there or something, so that looks pretty good. And so no real complaints considering the price there. You can also see the little Ettore Bugatti logos there as well. So I guess that is covering up the exhaust or something, a little bit of a doodad there to make it look cool. Looking at the interior, though, again, it's not bad. Being a supercar, the door does open in a funky way, and detail in there is actually, again, not bad at all. You can see the sticker there on the sill for Bugatti. You can see the, I guess that's supposed to be burl walnut on the dash there. You can see the, of course, the shift lever, because back in the day they still had shift levers, so no real beefs there. And let's go ahead and take a look here at the other side here. Let's see. There we go. Really not all that much to see, but you can get the better view of the brake lever as well as the shift lever in there too. So again, really nicely done for the value. So this was one of my favorite cars, as I mentioned. This was sort of one of the triumvirate of fastest cars in the world back in the early 90s, along with the Jaguar XJ220 and of course the McLaren F1. That was a cool time back then with all those really cool, really high-tech cars for back in the day. But that's my review here. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, please like and of course sign up for my channel. Have a great day.